Hello folks, welcome back to another JB's Comic Reviews. Today is not really a review, but a little more of a rant about the DC Night Terrors event. So I'd gotten to a discussion on a few places, Reddit and some Facebook groups, that a lot of people were skipping this month and this month and next month. So if you didn't know, Night Terrors is a big DC event. They just relaunched the Dawn of DC. So a lot of brand new comic book titles have been released, like a brand new Shazam, a brand new Green Lantern, and they're about 2 issues deep. And then here comes this Night Terrors event. So the event is there's some new enemy that sort of makes all of the heroes in the DC universe, heroes and some villains, live their worst nightmare. So he sort of freezes everybody where they're at, sucks them into this little like nightmare realm, and we get all these stories about this taking place. So, it's a tremendous, it's an event. DC's events lately haven't really seemed to be that awe-inspiring. I remember the events from the 80s, and I think that's what everybody likes, and we don't get those anymore. Stuff like Lazarus Planet, I don't think was really as well taken as they may have wanted it to be. Not as big of a, everybody wasn't out there going, oh, you got to go run and get it. There hasn't been anything like a Secret Wars for ages now. So either way, Night Terrors, this is really a big time money grab. I don't see how. So some events, they'll span 6 months or across some annuals. But this, they're pretty much replacing every title over 2 months with special Night Terrors issues. So instead of it being Shazam number 3 maybe is the issue, or Green Lantern number 3, that gets a break for 2 months. Any momentum those had, we're pausing it, and we're going to give you a brand new Green Lantern Night Terrors number 1 for you to go in and digest. I think a number 1 and number 2. Most of these have 2 issues. And then we'll get back to the main story. So it's weird because some of these, like the Flash, it's not the normal series Flash. You've got a Teen Titans one coming out, but then for Night Terrors, but then you've got the brand new Titans title that launched. So it's really just kind of obscure. This is an event I skipped, and it was mostly due to financial reasons. If I look at the stats for this, so let's pull this graphic up. So there are 23 issues in July to pick up. And if I'm pre-ordering that, which is at a discount, let's say a book costs $3.99 cover price. And for pre-ordering, I'm getting it at like $2.59 plus some tax, plus some shipping. If I add those up, that's $71 raw. Pre-order in every issue for July. So, it's really you got to be really invested in this to want to pick this event up. This is outside of your normal collection. So if you're Marvel, if you're anyone else, you're spending $71 for 1 issue of the pre-orders, and that's assuming you're getting just the A covers. If over 2 months, since you double this up, we've got August, who the hell wants to get issue 1 and 2, but not 3 and 4? Or issue 1 of Action Comics, but not part 2. So you double that. So you're at $142 pre-ordered for this particular event over a 2-month period. And I just, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have the kind of money for that. Now, if DC was knocking it out of the park, and their crossovers were badass, that may be a different thing. But, right now they aren't. We got Night Terrors First Blood, Night Terrors 1 and 2. Let's look at July. Action Comics, Angel Breaker, Batman, Black Adam, Catwoman, Detective Comics, so another Batman. But if you look at the synopsis for a lot of these, Like the Shazam one down here, that the series was just rebooted. The story isn't really even about Shazam. It's about like the female Shazam or some shit. The Flash one isn't about the Flash in the current run. It's about the, a different version of the Flash that's not currently active. Titans is weird. Is it the new Titans that was just launched, or is it some Teen Titans thing where this has already been in the hopper for a while? And Zatanna, they're sort of pulling in the writer and the, some of the Doom Patrol to that one to sort of get some of that money, I guess, for the people that are following Unstoppable Doom Patrol right now to pick that up. But Punchline, Ravager, nobody cares about. Some of these stories, even the Joker one is like, okay, the Joker's in an office building, and he gets a day job. That's his worst nightmare, which I get it. It's okay, but it's so freaking many. I mean, DC, you really expect me to spend $142, on this comic, if not higher? If you picked up so if you take a look at the variant covers, there's about an average of 4 covers for each one of these comics. If you're an old school collector that's a gotta have them all, that's $518 at cover price to pick up every one of those books. If you double that, assuming there's going to be the same number of covers next month for these issues, there's about the same number of issues coming out. You're at $1,000 cover price for picking up this one event over a 2-month period. I mean, who can afford that? I don't know who this is appealing to, this tactic. And I don't know, is it going to make much of a impact on the DC universe? Or as soon as this is over after 2 months and you've spent either $140 up to $1,000 collecting them all, is it just going to be back to business as usual? Is Shazam going to go back to Shazam? Batman back to Batman? Doom Patrol finish off and be done? Green Lantern back to whatever story they were already telling? I don't know. I'm assuming, based on recent history, that's what it's going to be like. So, in that price, so $1,000 to pick up all the variant covers for 2 months does not include like the sweet ass one you see on the screen here, which is a 1 in 25 variant cover. So who knows what those are going to run. If you've got a 1 in 25 or even higher, looks like they got a 1 in 50 and a 1 in 100 as well. Oh, Jesus. You're probably spending an incredible amount of money. You've got 125 is probably going to be a $12-15. You get the 50s and the 100s. I mean, there's no way. So I don't get it. I don't know who this appeals to. Maybe if DC had a little better track record, it'd be cool. I initially thought, maybe I'll get Night Terrors 1 and 2 and the First Blood and then Night's End and 3 and 4 and then the few for my story. But I said, fuck it. I just passed on it. So I don't know. I mean, that's my soapbox for today. If you're all in on it, the cover's badass. There's lots of really sweet art, but I'm not an art collector, man. I'm not spending thousands of bucks or hundreds of bucks just collecting art anymore. I already spent my pre-orders for this month was already like $100, and that's mostly Marvel things. And yeah, beat me up all you want, but I'm still kind of a Marvel fanboy. But to throw on another 70 something bucks or 300 something bucks to gather all the variants for everything, no way, not happen. So, I think it's just, it's a terror on your wallet, like the title says, man. I don't know how big of a success this will be due to slamming it all in 2 months, having it sort of be off on its own as an event that sort of just happened, and then we go back to the regular world of Dawn of DC. But to each his own, man. But this one, not for me. So until next time, peace.